It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely. Okay, so the headlines, they read Asians attacked in hate crimes. But why? Why in the headlines do they put the Asian in the headline, right? But they do not put the ethnicity, the race, the creed of the assailants in the headline. I find this very interesting. I want to get to the bottom of it. So let's take a look at the videos and see exactly who is doing these cowardly acts. Hey, don't forget to type in your comments. I want to hear what you have to say. I don't have intern Shane on it, but Marie's got her glasses on, so she'll be able to read the... Oh, my God. You are blind. But definitely help us out. We are shadow banned because we like to have these authentic conversations. So click that share button. Share it to your timelines, into your groups. It is definitely appreciated and helps us get that message out of a conversation. All right, so let's go to the display. No intern Shane, so bear with me. All right, my friends? Here we go. All right, so here, take a look. Asian woman, 65, knocked down, reported, repeatedly kicked as witness appears to watch. That's NBC News. CNN. No, I don't want that.
If it's on CNN, it must be true.
Police searching for attacker in hate crime assault against 65-year-old Asian woman. Okay? Next one. ABC. Search continues in brutal Manhattan attack on Asian woman heading to church. Okay, NPR. Let's see what NPR. Attack on Asian woman in Manhattan as bystanders watch to be probed as hate crime. Okay, so I went into the articles, read them all. Not one mention of the assailant's ethnicity, but always Asian woman, even in the body of the story. Okay, so okay, I'm thinking in my head, what are they pushing? They're pushing this Asian hate, right? It's clickbait. Don't forget that. It is always clickbait. But why? Why not talk about who is in these assailants? So I contacted my Asian buddy, all right? And she's got a Twitter account. She said, Joe, just go to my Twitter. It explains it all. First, let's go to this story about the 65-year-old woman. Let's take a look at this video. See what happened. Make your comments along too, all right? So here's the security camera footage, and that's a security guard right here inside this building, inside this business in Manhattan. There's the Asian lady walking across the street. Boom!
Oof. Oh, dang.
This
Jeez.
guy just comes up and kicks her.
Like Spartan kicked her.
Right.
Oi.
And then...
Oh, my God!
I know. Graphic warning, by the way. Just let you know.
Oh, that came a little late.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was a little late with the graphic warning. My bad.
Sorry, I'm
My
yelling
bad.
on-
Sorry. No. Emotion is good. And continues to stop her.
World?
Stranger. No, nothing. Okay?
Security
Why
guard.
is the security guard not doing anything?
He's looking.
Exactly. This is something that we see far too much of now, is the people just standing by and watching. And even worse, like the one that we talked about yesterday, about the teenagers that did the carjacking of the Pakistani guy. All right? And what did everyone do and stand around? Video.
Yeah, video.
You've seen Boondock Saints, right?
Yeah.
The whole opening, that's what they talk about. Kitty Genovese.
Explain.
They say the worst thing in the world is people that stand by and do nothing.
Yeah, he
The
closed
guy
the door.
closes the door. Okay? The guy closes the door.
Yep.
God, that's awful.
It's just hard
Seriously?
to... Well, it's Manhattan. You know, it's New York City.
But like,
Not an
does that mean they're not
Not-
humans?
well,
I know.
No,
That's
I'm
what I was
just-
going to
That's
say.
inhumane.
Well, it's
Zero humanitarian.
So this happened yesterday. All right? 11:40 a.m. Right in the morning at 360 West 43rd Street. So the female, the 65-year-old female, was approached by the unidentified male who punched and kicked her. And also, according to the statements, made anti-Asian statements as doing it. And they're looking for, if you have any info.
They all have info. There's 3 of them right there with all kinds of info.
Well,
Right, they could actually see him. It was really hard to see any
so let's go to
description of him, you know?
let's go to
But what place was that? Why is people not mad at that place for
Looks like a
posting the video but
hotel.
not doing anything?
With
It's a hotel, right?
With security guards outside of it. I don't know the exact.
It looks like a hotel.
Is he
strap.
security or is he like a UPS guy?
That's security guard for that
Saw it,
location.
heard it, kick.
Right.
I don't understand how you could even sit there and watch that.
For more
Seriously?
of these, follow at Joe Padula on Twitter.
Is she okay? Do we know if she's okay? Because 65 getting kicked like that, like
It's
that's
not
gonna
like
be
young.
Here's a view from across the street.
same one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like he's a big dude, and
That's
that's like
actually
full
making my
force.
stomach gross.
Seriously,
I know.
And that's somebody recording with a camera phone.
Yeah, that is.
So they also aren't doing anything.
right?
Cars driving by.
Now let me scroll down because this
Is he wearing a tie?
yeah.
Like he's leaving the office, gonna go kick me an Asian. What?
Okay. Here we go. Here's from another attack recently on an Asian guy. And again, the recording, nobody stepping in. Okay? Nobody stepping in. We keep scrolling down. Oh, that's from the border. My Twitter is very full. I'll tell you what. This was the Trisha, did you see this one?
I don't watch any of this stuff, and I remember why now.
Right?
This was last week. This is
13-year-old.
yeah, 13 and a 15-year-old, two females. This Uber driver, okay, gets carjacked. The teenagers have stun guns, tasers.
Yep. He's still in the car.
Oh, whoop
Did
that.
he just hit the pole?
He's still in the car.
Right.
I missed it.
He's dead.
So what happened to them?
Well, check this out. So again, the two teenagers got charged with arrest, theft, and also murder because the man died.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
'Cause that's how getting out the car. Here come a friend.
These are girls that did it or guys?
Girl.
These are two girls.
Way to ruin your
Okay,
life.
and then after the car crashes and everything, she gets out. There's army guys down there in D.C. This was in D.C. All right, and nobody's tending to the guy who is about to die. That's on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Like, hey, battle buddies, what are you doing? They're not trained for war. This new army or those guys, I bet were fuzzies.
Well, in this particular case, you got two kids and a grown person. It's like natural response to go for the kids if you don't know what had happened before.
And here's another hate crime against an elderly Asian man in Oakland. All right, you got this guy. He's talking to an Asian cop.
And then cook it and eat it. In front of your mother. Now, goddamn party. Tea party. What's up?
I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah,
This is all bleeped out.
You know what? It's
A lot of bad stuff.
It's about Asian food and not in the nice way, calling names and all that stuff, right? Here is one. Here is this man, this Asian woman.
What happened now? Okay, so these people up in the upstairs recording, I'm not mad at them. They couldn't make it down in time anyway.
Right.
He's just hanging it.
But how are you gonna drive past? Like,
Unreal. This teacher here refuses to take down and removed some pretty nasty words about Asians. That's in California. Another one beat up an Asian. The latest anti-Asian attack in the subway of New York City. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's nonstop. This one tells this Asian American go back to China, then physically threatens to beat his ass. And it's right from the cops, too.
And the person recording is laughing.
Yeah. But here's the thing. How about this Filipino guy?
Now, the only thing I had to ask is what are the Chinese, once again, doing with the Muslims locked up in their country? Why do the good Chinese have Muslims locked up in their country? For no reason other than being Muslim. Could you answer that? You should be so ethical, and you seem to be so...
All right. I mean, and here's the thing. So I go back to my original question. Okay? So how come in the headline, Asian woman attacked, and what my friend, my Asian friend from the West Coast there, she sent me all this stuff on Twitter. She goes, Joe, it's because it's all black dudes attacking the Asians. So I'm like, why? Okay? Well, did a little thinking. You got to understand. Well, first things first, media does not want to report that because that's a little controversial. Facts are controversial now. That's a problem. Second, I don't think they realize. I grew up in a very Asian population in Jersey, no doubt about it. And especially in New York, you see the communities where you have, it's a very mixed black and Asian community. Asians are one of the most racist groups I have come across. Okay? You know, that sounds controversial, but I'm just speaking from what I see. And the black community does not get along in these communities that I'm talking about with the Asian store owners who come into their communities, foreigners that move into the neighborhoods and open up businesses and take over. So now you have this clash. And that is why, and this is just my opinion, that is why you see a guy just walking down the street and kicking a 65-year-old Asian woman as she's going to church on a Monday morning. But that's not the stuff that you're going to hear in the real media. Real media. So why? Why not report on that? What do you think of this? Bang? Go to you first, man. What's your thoughts? No, that's Maria. Intern Shane.
That make me think about that scene in Men to Society.
What's that?
Are they gonna stop that movie from being played?
Why? What they say in Menace to Society?
No, the opening scene is the store getting robbed out there in California. Because out there, that stuff been going on out there in California.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Mexicans, too. It's been like that out there.
You know, go even more mainstream with the media. Okay? How about Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan? Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Yeah. I wonder if they going to ban that movie now, too.
No, they're not. You know why?
What's that?
Because Chris Tucker's a black dude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go back to Atlanta, what happened a couple weeks ago. What did the headlines say? White man shoots up Asian parlor.
Yeah.
But not here. And that's racist. If you're going to put Asian in the headline, I want to hear about the assailant too, because I want to solve the problem. I want to get down to so there is no hate crime. And you people call me racist for saying these things. It's not racist. I'm trying to help solve a solution, or at least get a conversation going that can fix the problem. Tricia, what do you say?
I think that we have to back up the entire train.
Okay.
And understand that there are crap people in the world who do crap things, and it doesn't matter how much melanin's in their skin on either side of the board.
Agreed.
And I think that to stop perpetuating the race stuff, we have to stop acting like there's a difference. While, and this is the difficult part, while still understanding that history has its effect on current situations. So it's just it's a really it's a really thin line to walk, and we don't do it well. We either go the whole way to the left or the whole way to the right. I hate to use those terms, but we go too radically to one of the two sides. And the fact of the matter is, we just need to look at situations like this at face value and deal with them.
Okay. All right, Robert. The headline. Okay, Asian woman, Asian man, Asian.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, they want to direct you towards the victims because there's something going on with the victims that is unilateral, right? But you kind of made a point that if the victims are all Asian, but there is a smattering of either African American or white, that the assailants can be either. So why are they not drawing that into the article? Is your question? I don't know. I don't know why they would do. I mean, it makes sense if you're trying to draw attention to Asian violence by making sure the victim's race is in the line, so you see it over and over again, that there's a surge tick in violence towards Asians. The assailants, if you're trying to draw attention to a majority of assailants, then you probably would start to drive that narrative, I would think.
Like, I had to go, I was on FBI.gov today, all right? Just going deep into all the information. And it is 7 times more likely for an Asian person to get attacked by a black person than anyone.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it's just, I don't argue with statistics, but it is what it is. I just think that in the current state of what's going on, I got sent a TikTok very recently that informed me that the violence that was being perpetuated by the African American community, especially the men, was a product of white supremacy. So you can chew on that for all you want.
Well, that's abusive. Women who are in abusive relationships tend to be abusive in their next relationships. I mean, that's a thing. Don't you learn a cycle of violence and then it perpetuates, right?
Well, and the oppressed become the oppressor. So if for generations of feeling the oppression, they may be retaliating and showing that and becoming the oppressor. But I think everything right now is very divisive. I think everything is also very purposeful. The media is very purposeful.
They want the emotion. They want the division. I agree with you on that. So
Make it worse.
And I think that's part of the reason why the headlines that we read are only half the story. Bay, do you remember a thing called the knockout game? Right? Where people would just go up to record and they would just go up to someone and knock them out.
That was the kids too came up with that.
And the majority of it was young black males against Hasidics, Jewish males. You didn't hear about that in the headlines either.
They're back in World Star days.
World Star, right? It's the truth. And the first ones, you're like, oh man, bum fights, remember bum fights and everything. Yeah. But man, I'll tell you, and it comes down to what's up, Robert?
I just have a question for you. I'm just a little lost on where we're going with this. So is your argument right now to say that African Americans, regardless of actions, are getting a pass by the media?
Exactly.
Okay. I was trying to connect the dots. Yep. I just want to make sure I was there.
I'm glad you said that because when it comes down to it, take that knockout game, take the World Star hip hop and everything, right? All right, and the bump fights and everything, and they get a pass. Not only that, but it really is. And reading the articles, especially that NPR one, and it goes into what Tricia was getting at earlier, was they're trying to make it's a white supremacy thing.
But that ain't got
and the numbers aren't there. The FBI numbers just aren't there to make that argument.
Well, that's what tends to what happened with the far left is they can't stand on the merits of their own arguments after a while because life doesn't mirror up like they expect.
Nothing is that. Nothing is that absolute, man.
But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, should black people have, this cloak of immortality around them where the media can't touch them? I mean,
no person should, right?
Well, the left has decided that they should, and I'm left, so it's like once you get to the far left, you decide you kind of have to just kind of counter where you're going to draw that line, and then once you go past that argument point, everything just collapses on itself because they can't hold up. They can't defend one, racial bias and then defend the other racial bias when those two things go together. It's the worst algorithm that could be made for them right now.
Wow.
They're like, no, you can't do this.
That's a smart statement. That's a smart statement. And you get the prize for the moment.
Oh no! I get a new hat.
Yeah, you get to hold on to this for the remaining of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
The hat chose me. No.
Yeah. That's right. You get to make absolutely great again.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
This is a great look for me.
Oh, I like it. Looks good.
That's a really good example too. The racist hat.
Yeah.
Like any red hat with white lettering on it is now racist.
Racist, right?
Again, we're putting traits like that onto inanimate objects, and it's very dangerous for our society.
I know.
What I laugh is that if you think it's racist, it's gonna be racist. Because I can give two about. You know what I'm saying? Because people disassume things.
Okay.
Like majority of black folks really just want to live their life.
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
If you breaking the law, you breaking the law. That's no ifs buts about it. And if you defended somebody that's breaking the law, then you need to look at yourself.
And Bay, you're absolutely right. And I don't want to get confused or people confuse me that saying that majority of black people are doing this. No. I'm just saying the majority of what's happening is happening with the black community and the Asian community. Okay, I am not.
But that been going on ever since the 90s, the 80s.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But like then again, the media needs something else to talk about. So let this change it over to another race now.
Well, notice that in the Colorado shooting, when it came out, the guy was from Syria.
You don't
crickets. Crickets. Do you know what I mean?
If it's not fitting,
I know
the issue.
And you know what though? I can understand that. I've dropped conversations when it didn't fit my narrative too.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear that, and I'm trying to work on that. I really am.
It's the Joe Padula Show. Bada bing. Clarksville's conversation.